Coach, are we there? Alikunywa chai.
We are there. Let's go.
Okay. Share screen.
Hey, coach, good morning. Before Coach Hellen starts, good morning, Sebo HT. Watukulamusiza, we appreciate you, Sebo.
What's soda?
Hellen in a soda. Drop your binary side. Is that very hard?
Okay, guys, so hope everyone is seeing my screen. Eh? We are all seeing the screen.
Me, I'm seeing it.
As long as you're seeing it, we can do the rest. So, you call it a weapon now. I should get a blank page. So, guys, in today's class, I'm gonna be talking about the what? The new system or the new method we are trying to implement. I know most of us, we are still having so many questions. Most of us are not yet there, but then we just need to be flexible. If something new comes on the board and then it is worth it, then please don't just say that, now you have been teaching us this one and now this one. Please, my friend, every day the world keeps on updating and then anything can change. Just need to be flexible. So literally this method we are using, even from back, we have been always saying that the only thing we need here is keeping our average near to the current price, because literally that average price is almost taken to be your entry point. You're getting the point. The moment your average price is near, the current price, it probably means that it's very easy for you to be out of the market. Okay, the market that's needs something very little for it to go up, and then you're out of the market. But the moment you're far away from the average, let's assume your average is maybe $3, and then the current price is maybe 0.5, then my friend, you're in big trouble. Okay, because there is a very big gap between the current price and then the average price, which is not good. It will always make us to delay into the market. Okay, so this method we introduced, it's okay, right now we are calling it double wrap method because it's the simple language you can use. But then in the trading language, you could call it what we can call the DCA. You're getting the point. DCA, that is something we can call this dollar cost average. Okay, dollar cost average. What does it mean? That you use the dollar and then you bring the average closer, because the moment you bring the average closer, then you're on a safer side. You're always on the safer side. Okay, so one thing I found out that if we can enter the market, guys, I want us to understand. You know the reason why I want us to understand? I'm just tired of this chapter whereby you can drop out the strategy maybe for 200, and then someone is like, what of 250? What can I use? Then you drop out for 250. Someone is like, what of 100? What can I use? So at least I want us to understand. After understanding, you can implement it using any money you're having. Okay, you don't have any time to go and ask your leader. You guys, you should at least sometimes try to be independent for once. Try to understand things away from cramming. That's why we are always here as your leaders to give you those services, to teach you what we know, so that we can all be on the same page. So here's the thing. We discovered that if I enter the market with let's assume I've entered the market with 100, okay, with 100. Then in the margin calls I enter with 5, or maybe 10. Let's assume 10. We have been always using 10 in our groups. Maybe I start entering with 10. Every time I buy a margin call, I'm entering with 10, okay? But remember, this 100 I entered with in the first place is already a big digit compared to the prices I'm entering right now, to the dollar I'm putting into the market as we are buying margin calls. Are you getting my point? So what could that mean? That if this 100 can create maybe a floating of let's assume a floating of 3.5%. And then for me, I put in 10. This 10 is something very small. It's a very small portion compared to the 100 I entered with. Meaning, what does that mean? It means that this floating I've been having, which was 3.5, it is going to be reduced by a very small percentage. Meaning, if it was 3.5 and then I enter 10 into the market, maybe it will be reduced to 3. Let's assume to 3.4. They're going to be a difference of just 0.1. You're getting my point. And then I've done nothing. But remember one thing you're not forgetting. The more we enter money into the market, the more the floating becomes big. The more we are putting a lot of money into the market, the more our floating is increasing. Remember now, right now, the person who had 100, right now I'm having 110 because I've added in another 10. You're getting my point. So when I keep on adding the 10, it will reach a time when I have 200. And then my floating will be bigger. It will be something like 6, because it has been reducing something like 0.1. If the worst if it is good, it is 0. It has been reducing a very small portion. At the end of the day, the market just flips something like 10%, and then I'm having a huge floating loss. Okay, and then I'm getting out of 10, 20 floating lot, 30, it becomes a tug of war. Oh no, it's not simple. Okay, almost the coin has gone back down to create the new lower low. So I have to wait it till, and we know that when the coin goes down to make a lower low, it will first have to consolidate. It needs a lot of liquidity for it to be up again. Okay, so it will cost us a lot of patience. Okay, which is not bad, but then we are trying to minimize the number of floating we are having. Okay, that's what we are trying to do using this formula. So literally that this is what is going to do. That if in the market I entered something like 10, if I entered something like 10, this 10 is kinda small, and it is that we're going to create a very small floating loss. That if I enter the market with 10, what's next? If it creates a floating of 2%, over 3%, literally this 3% is having something like 0.2 floating on the dollars. Remember, this is just a percentage, and then these are the dollars I lose if I sell that particular asset on that price. You're getting my point? So it is very easy for me. To neutralize this 0.2. Okay, but how am I going to do it? I have to enter an amount which is greater than the amount which is in the market. That if I entered with 10 as my first buying amount, I have to enter something greater than 10. Okay, which times which is going to multiply this 10 by 2. You're getting my point? That if I enter the market with 10 at first, then I'm going to enter with 20. Trust me, if I enter with 20, I want you guys to be observing these things on your trades, because this is the only way you're going to be able to understand what I'm telling you. That you're going to find when your coin is having let's assume you entered 10 in the first place, and your coin is floating with let's assume it is floating with 0.2, and then in brackets you're having 3%. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm talking. This figure I'm talking about is always written there, where we're having the unrealized F/L. This is the thing where it is always written. Outside we are having the dollars, which you might lose in case you sell that asset at that price. Then inside they're telling you the percentage which has dropped. Okay, so let's assume we are having 10 in the market, and then on the float we have 0.2, and then in the brackets you're having 3%. When you enter something which doubles what you're having in the market, let's assume you're doubling 20. Okay, you're doubling with 20, meaning you're going to enter 20 into the market. Now you'll be having 30 in the market. If you observe it enough, you're going to realize that when you come here, you're going to find when we are back with 0.0. It might not necessarily be 0.0, but maybe it is 0.01. It has literally reduced, or almost we are back to the current price. And if you go and look at your average, it is almost the same as the current. Okay, it can't be the same, but almost there. It is having a very, very slight floating. And then you're going to find that in the brackets, we are having something like we are back with maybe 0.1. They are showing that the coin has just started to drop. It has dropped by a percentage of 0.1. Yet for you know that you had a floating of what? Of 3. You're getting the point. You had a floating of 3, meaning that you've neutralized the floating loss you had, and then right now you're almost at the current price. It's like you've just entered the coin, yet you had already entered the coin and you had a floating of 3, but the 3 has gone back. I think you can see what Mr. Emerald told you yesterday. There's a certain coin you guys traded. Was it over Ether? Mr. Emerald, was it Ether something? I remember I told that if you never use the DCA, you're having a floating of 15%. And then someone who used DCA is having a floating of 3. Hope you're seeing the difference. So it's very easy for the coin to come out for this person who's having a floating of 3. Okay. And when this person tries to buy again, still using the DCA, it can neutralize this 3 more than this person is having 15. At 15 already, this floating loss is going out of control. You're getting the point. It's becoming too big. And then you need a lot of money to neutralize that current price. Whereby if you're already having maybe 500 in the market and I tell you to double up that money, it might be very hard for you to enter, because remember, you're going to enter, you need something like 1K to neutralize the floating you're having. Yeah, that money will be very much, okay? You might not be able to get it. So if you start it from the journey where you can do it, when you're still having enter the money in the market, which can be able to double up. I think it's right time we start looking at getting out of the trades as soon as we can, more than what we are getting. Because for me, if I enter my trades in a day and I'm out of them, even though I have my $1, but I know my other money is just safe, even though I'm having an issue, I can withdraw my money. Away from the other issue where we always do, let me first pause out the coin, I get out the money which is there, I'm always sure that my money is safe, and then I know I'm out of that trade with the little I have, but I'm out of that trade. Instead of me waiting for $20, and at the end of that, I'm going to get it maybe after 1 week, maybe. Because remember, we are looking for consistency, okay? We are looking for consistency. So literally, that's the backbone of that new strategy we are trying to put out on the market. It's not yet perfect. Maybe you haven't discovered how we can use it best. That's why we are discussing it with everyone, so that we can all come out with ideas on how we can use it on its perfection. That's why if you're having an idea, I've been having so many ideas in my inbox. People have been bringing out their suggestions, and then I've been listening to them. So if you're having an issue, if you're having something you want to add up to this new system you're bringing out, just be free. If you can't say it in the group, maybe go to any inbox of any leader and then talk to that person. That person will listen to you, and then we can be able to reach out on something, because at the end of the day, we all just want profits, okay? We all just want to be profitable in this business. So I think I'm going to put it I'm going to be putting it on page on how we are doing it. So one thing you have to put at your head before you use this method, you have to look at what if everything starts from the first buying amount. Everything starts from the first buying amount. You have to think of the what? Sorry, I want to find this place here. You have to think of the money you're going to put in the first buying amount. Can you multiply it? Okay, can you double it up? Because if for you are saying that for me I'm having some good capital, I want to start with 100 as my first buying amount. Don't forget that on your first buying amount, you're going to enter 200. On the next, you're entering 500. On the next, you're entering 800. You're getting my point. This strategy is kind of expensive, but still, we have to go about it. There's nothing to do. So meaning that before you put a big digit in this place here, where we're having the first buying amount, before you put a big digit there, be conscious. Can I double up this first buying amount, and at least I get something like 4? Because here you can't just get so many margin calls, because doubling up is not something easy, okay? But at least can you create something like 4 margin calls or more? If you can go up to 7, but at least 4 you could be safe. Why am I saying 4 you could be safe? Here's the thing. Remember, we have always encouraged for us to use a bigger margin call drop, the total margin call drop. We have always advised that we have something big, okay? So for me, according to me, why I'm saying that at least you need to be having 4 more than 4. Okay, 4 or more than 4 if you can, if your capital can help you to stretch up to that. Okay, here's the reason that if you use this particular default one you're seeing, this drop you're seeing here, if we are to add this 3.4, if we are to add this 3.5 and then we add on 4 and then we add on 4.5 and then we add on 5 point, someone could help me out on the calculator and add that for me. If we add 3.5 plus 4 plus 4.5 and then plus 5.2, what's the answer you're getting? Someone helping me, or I should do it myself? Might be there when you're dozing. It is 3.5 plus 4 and then plus 4.5. Guys, are we there? Because I'm not hearing anyone. Are we there? Or I'm talking alone?
Yes, coach, we are here.
So why are you deciding to keep out? I mean to keep quiet. Okay, so the total is going to be 17.2. Okay, 17.2. When you add 3.5, 4 and then 4.5 and then 5.2, we are getting a total of what? We are getting a total of 7.2, meaning on our drop we are having 17.2. Okay, and remember here we are not taking 3%. Okay, we are using, at least if the worst comes the worst, use 2. But I myself, I use 1.3 or 1.5 period. I stop there. Okay, because sometimes Omululu, greed is something very bad that it can make you to miss out on so many things just because you're greedy, you want something very big. Okay, so for me, I could encourage that if we can use 1.3 to 1.5, if the worst comes the worst, maybe 2. You're getting my point? Maybe 2. So what I know, remember, every time we are buying a margin call, we go back to the current price, almost to the current price. We may not go back to the real current price, but we are almost there. We are just a difference of some points. Okay, meaning that if every time we buy a margin call, I go back to the current price, it is going to be very easy for me to raise, and then I take profit of 1.3 or 1.5. It is going to be very easy for me. And then what I believe in, that yes, the market always drops, but if you've been always paying details to those candlesticks, if you have always, because I always take my time and I look onto those candlesticks, if you've always taken your time and looked onto them, you will see that it's very, very, very rare to find a coin which is just dropping and is not making any, at least sometimes, even though it has not put up that green candle you're looking for, but at least it will using one candle, because we all know that a one candle can go up by 3% and at the same time it comes down by 3 or even more, or even 6% and so on. So we are going to use advantage that as the coin is dropping by this 17%, it is very rare to find that it has not risen up at least by a percentage of 1.5. And remember, for you, you're moving from the current price, meaning that for you, when the coin moves out and comes back by 1.5, you're going to be out of the market. Are you getting my point? You're going to be out of the market, because for it to cost you something very small for it to be out of the market, more than this someone who's floating by 7.2, and you've been entering very little money into the market, meaning this person, for him, if for us we are having let's assume the coin has dropped by 1.5, this person who has been entering maybe 10 into the market, not doubling up, that person will be having something like 15% of the floating. And then this person who has been doubling up, that person is going to be having something like 1% of floating, or maybe 2%. Okay, so meaning if a coin raises by 3%, this person who's having 2% floating is going to be out. Then this person who's having 15, for him is going to wait till when the coin goes up by 15% and then also gives that person their take profit, maybe which is 3 or 1.5. You're getting my point? Then this person who has not been entering anything to the market, for him is going to be having 17%, meaning that person is still waiting for the market to go up by 17%, and then that person can get their take profit and then they're out of the market. So that's the difference. That's why we're all going to enter the same coin with different settings, because for me, I've tried it. I trade the same coin using a different settings. Okay, but you find that this coin where we're using the DCA is out of the market, before this one is out of the market. And you can find that this one can even take a month, yet the other one I was out of the market just within a day. You're getting my point. So literally, this is the backbone or the concept behind using DCA. So about the settings, for the margin call drop, I could advise you to just leave it the way it is. Okay. So guys, then for the I'm going to be explaining, because I think the issues I've been getting from the moment I launched these settings, that there's so many complaints I've been getting. People are saying that if I multiply, there's something you misunderstanding. Guys, speed, we are still on the same page. Before I can continue any further, is there anyone having a question? Because I don't know whether we're understanding it. I want us to understand. I know for the first time it might be kind of hard for us to understand, but trust me, I'm going to teach this still when we are all there. So are we having any questions so far?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Like you say, when it increases by 1.5, it comes out. But the first 4 margin calls are whole, they come out before the first one. They come out as a batch. So that one maybe. So if it increases by 1.5, the first 4 margin calls will wait to come out. They will come out at once. Isn't it? So even if it increases by 1.5, it will wait for other. So that is my confusion around there.
What do you mean that it will wait for other margin calls? When did we start waiting for margin calls? Okay, I think I'm trying to get your point.
Into Royal Q.
Yeah.
The first 4 margin calls
are sold together
they
with
can't
a
come
with a
out
coin.
like individually. They can't come out individually.
Yes. So what was your concern? What was your real question?
No, like maybe I didn't understand your explanation. Like ever after 1.5, it can come out.
Okay. 1.5. So here's what I meant. I think you never understood from the point where I say that floating loss can be neutralized and we go back to almost the current. We can't go back to current, but almost current price. Okay. So this is what I mean. The problem, the device I'm using doesn't have any running coins. I don't know. Let me first see here in my phone whether I can. What's guys? Muli kusimu yange. Temula bebiri musimu yange. Let's see. Let me see whether I can get a screenshot here. Just will call as an example. I think let me use this one. This. Let me use this. So, sweetheart, here's the point. I don't know whether you can. Just wait a minute. There's some examples I had here on some of the trades I took. I could take screenshots, but now I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. Mama, okay. Let me just use out this because I'm not seeing the example I wanted. This one is already in green. Let me use this. So here's the thing here. Try to look here. I don't know whether you're seeing this because actually clear new, but let me hope you're seeing it. Are you seeing here? Are you seeing this page?
Yes.
Okay, so try to look here where we are having unrealized P/L USDT. Are you seeing that area? Like other person I'm explaining, yes. I think your network is not good. if you're seeing that region there, we are having the percentage I've been talking about, that is the percentage using the brackets. Right now we are having, let me try to zoom. Right now on this, I'm using this first. Just try to unmute your mic. I'm going to explain. Maybe you can mute it. Like try to mute it. Sorry, try to mute it because it is creating some caveat here. So I was still explaining that I think this area we're having here, which is having annualized P/L. This is the area I've been talking about. In area rate of zero in the market. That the more it increases, we are going away from the average price. Okay, the more it increases, we are going away from the average price. And once the current price is very far from the average price, you're having issues. You're going to stay long on the market. So here's the thing. Are you seeing this coin that I'm already having a floating of 0.54%, and then outside I'm having 0.815, okay? Then this coin literally it had 15 and it was using double wrap, okay? But here on the first buying amount, I had I don't know how I can explain this because it needs more practical. I don't know. I took my screenshots, but I don't know where I shared them from. But okay, let me try my level best. You have to understand this. So this floating you're seeing, it increased till when it reached 3.5, okay? In the brackets percent. After it increased outside here, I had a loss of something, let's assume 0.1 on the USDT, because I told you on this annualized P/L, that is annualized profit/loss. If it is in red, that's the loss you can get in case you sell that particular asset on that current price. If it is in green, it's the profit you can get in case you sell that asset on that current price. So here's the thing. Outside here, outside here, I'm having the USDT. I might be making the loss. Then inside the bracket, I'm having the loss, like the percentage which has dropped. I don't know if they're getting my point. So this is the issue I'm telling you, that when I had 3.5% of my floating in the bracket, when I double wrap this man I'm having into the coin, I'm having right now 14.99. Let's assume I'm having 15. Okay, so if I double it up and I put 30 in my next buying amount, I put 30, meaning 30, because literally I placed 15, just rounding off with some points always. That's why you're seeing here I'm having 14.999 what. But if I double up and I put 30, when I come back here where I had 3.5, it is going to go back to 0, maybe 0.5. And then here the floating, which was 0.1, to go back to maybe 0.001, something like that. Meaning it's like I've just entered the coin. I don't know whether you're getting my point. The other old stuff is forgotten now. I've even forgotten that at once I had a floating of 3.5. Are you getting my point?
I've got. Yes,
so
yes,
meaning that if when the coin, even though it has bought margin calls, when the coin goes up by 1.5, I'll be out of the market. Okay, if it goes back and maybe it is on 1.5, for me I would just need it to, meaning my take profit which is 1.5, and then this floating I have for 0.5, and then for me I'll be out of the market because the coin goes back almost to your current price. Katiba floating it is going to sell each and everything you have. Be it bought your margin calls, be it never bought them, it is going to sell completely, because every time I double up what I have in the market, I neutralized my floating. I almost go back to the point where it's like I've just entered the coin and no longer have any floating loss. So the coin will just have to raise by my percentage and then I'm out of the market. Have you gotten my point now?
Yes, thank
Hello?
you, thank you.
You have gotten the point, eh? Okay. So it doesn't matter whether I bought the margin calls, whether I never bought, because margin calls, whether I bought 4, whether I bought 6, whatever it is, we always consider this percentage which is here. We don't consider the margin calls we have bought. You're getting the point. Margin calls, as long as here I'm having something very small on the floating, when the market raises, it is very easy to give me my take profit more than someone who's having a floating of 17%. when is the coin going to climb by 17%? You have to be more patient. So that is it. So I think I can go back where I was.
Miss Helen, some people have questions.
Yeah.
They are raising up their hands.
And they should just talk because I can't see them. I'm not in the call.
I also have a question.
I'm listening. The person who said is having a question. Please, can you raise your question? Okay. If your network is not okay, first mute and then maybe we shall see later. Okay?
Hello.
Yes, Nyabo.
Yes,
Good
I'm
morning.
listening. Morning too.
And then my issue is about the time spent before buying any margin call. Because whatever first buying, it should buy when the drop is 3.5.
Exactly.
And I remember sometimes more sharing a signal, you'll be like it. Don't trade after 5 minutes. So minimum signals ezamuka amangu ngateze wansi. So bunyingira ne tugeze like $100 USDT. Then coin netted wansi kugula. So meaning bangi ndafuna like $3. Bwebanga etunze by 3%. So kati oluusi profit margin eyo esobola okunkipingira mu market obudde obungi ate nefundikira ate oluusi nga messes up.
Please try to share your ideas in English because you have good ideas, but you know we are international here.
I was getting all your points still when you reached the last part. I don't know which one is your question.
Okay. My question is, can't we reduce on the time frame whereby the robot can easily buy in a short time, whereby when it buys more, but the moment the market raises up, at least we have both.
I think I'm getting your point. Your issue is, what if the robot doesn't buy the margin calls and then it just goes up and then it gives you the take profit of your what? Of your first buying amount. Okay? Yes. So exactly that point goes back to greedy. Being greedy is very bad in this business. Do you know why? Do you know that it's not a must that a robot has to go back and buy margin calls? It is just a risk management that what if it does? Because right now, if you're being observant, this market is very volatile. Anything can happen just within minutes. You have seen the gold Bybit just of recent was hacked in just a few minutes. In just 15 minutes, Bitcoin was able to drop down by something like 4K in just 15 seconds. So anything can happen in the market. That's why we're always ready for anything that can come out. For me, it's okay with me to go out with Mica 3 or with Mica $2 and I'm out of the market than to wait for 2 months to get $10. It's very okay for me. So always the concept of margin calls, it is put there as a risk management. I think this question can answer. People always say that why do we always someone can come to me like, Helen, my robot is not buying margin calls, it is just telling out of the market. My friend, the robot can only buy when you've dropped. So this concept goes back to this, meaning for you, according to what you're saying, what you're going to do, you're going to come here and start reducing these margin call drops. I know you guys, meaning you're going to come here and put 0.5, you put your 1, you put your 2. Remember, you're using double wrap. Meaning on the first margin, you're waiting the coin to drop by 0.5 and then you're going to double your 100. Meaning you're supposed to put 200 into the market. Then you're waiting for the market to drop again. I don't know whose mic is that one, guys. Try to mute your mics, guys. Only unmute when you're going to say something. Emerald, you can help me out with that person, Vanang. So I was still saying that you've made what? You've made a drop, let's assume from the first call, because we are seeing that in this method, we are not using so many margin calls. Since we are doubling up, and it is not easy to double up the market with 40 margin calls. It is very hard. You need $10K or even plus to be able to fulfill that. So we are saying that we are going to be having few margin calls, but when they are meaningful. So far you've gotten 4 margin calls, you're putting there 0.5 just because you want your coin to enter more money, so that in case it's selling, it can give you some good profit. So now you're entering maybe 0.5, maybe 0.5 here, and maybe you're having 1 on the third call, and then maybe you're having 1, meaning that total call you're having, total margin call, you're having at from going of 1 to, you're having 3%. Okay, now the coin comes and the coin is dropping by 5%. It hasn't risen up, because it's very common for the coin to drop by 5% when it hasn't going up by any percentage. So for you, you've already bought, you've already doubled up. Remember, I entered the 100 in the first call, the first buying amount, and then on this first call you're entering with 200. On this next one, you're entering, because you're doubling up, you're entering with 500. On this one, you're entering with 800. On the fourth one, you're entering with what? 200, 800 by 2. What do you get? 800 by 2. You're getting what? You're getting 100. It is 1,600. You're already having something like 10K into the market. And the market is still dropping. It hasn't gone up by the 1% you wanted. So what are you going to do? Because of the greedy, just because you wanted the coin to enter more money, so that when it is moving out, gives you much profits, now you're into trouble. Before you make your margin call drop to be something very small, think of, can you double up? Because for you, you're going to need more margin calls, like we have been doing in the old strategy. If you're using this strategy, you're going to use margin calls. You need something like 20 margin calls. But are you serious with doubling up? Can you get those margin calls? Because now we are just on the fourth call, but you're supposed to enter 1,600 into the market. Okay, so that's why I'm telling that if the coin goes up and has not got any margin call, my friend, it is fine. Go out with something. That's why I was showing you this example. Okay, I think when I was testing that strategy, I used this same account. Let me look out here and I used this same account. If you could see these coins, they could move out and they could only give me 5. You're seeing 5. They are giving 0.5, but at least they could be out of the market. 0.5, 0.6, 0.1, 0.6, because my first buying amount was 15. I think it was 50 here. So they could give me just here, I'm seeing 0.01. If you can see here on this day, I was getting 0.2, 0.3, 0.1, 0.1, but as long as I was out of the market, every time I could get out of the market, I could enter another coin. You're getting my point. I could get another coin. I was getting my 0.1, my 0.5, my 0.1, my 0.1. You're seeing, you can see these, the profits, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Literally, I was getting my 0.1. But at the end of the day, I got my 6, and whereby to this Gunda, I was using 150 capital. But at the end of the day, I concluded with my $6. So don't you think it's worth it? Then anyone is going to enter the all capital into the market at once, just because you want to get 3, you want to get 5, you want to get 10, and at the end of the day, you're trapped into the market. So if you're planning to use this strategy, my friend, what you shouldn't think about, actually, if you want to hate this strategy for your entire life, just make your drop very small. I'm telling you about that. You're going to sweat plasma. Yeah, mama, really well. Okay? So one thing you shouldn't think about, if you're planning to use unless you're using the old strategy, then you can reduce the margin call drop. But if you're using this new strategy and you're planning to put some small digits here, just simply because you want the coin to buy very rapidly, and then when it is going up, that can only be of advantage to you, just in case God favors you and the coin maybe just drops by 2%, it buys your margin calls and then it goes up. There you're going to beat a jackpot. It's going to be a jackpot for you. Because literally you've entered in more money into the market, and remember, the more you're having more money, the more you're getting some kind of good profit. You've entered the money into the market, and then the market has dropped only by 2%, and then it is going up to give you a take profit. You're going to be very okay. But let's assume this market drops by 15, by 17. Omanyi gye bayakulese. with all the money into the market, still you're going to go back and float. So I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah,
Have
thank you very
I?
much.
You've
Yeah, you
gotten the
did.
point, eh?
Mm,
Okay, so guys, I think so far we're not having any other
I
question up
appreciate.
where we are. Mm. It's okay, you can ask. I can create another class maybe in the evening, and then if we don't finish up here, then because I want us to understand this time around. I had someone calling me. What were I saying? Hey. Okay, so I will assume we're not having any question for now. So now we are,
Hello.
guys. Mm-hmm.
So morning, Helen. From now I was asking, hello.
Mm, mm.
Uh, if you're using that new strategy, are you supposed to add on the capital that you had before, or you use the same capital?
What do you mean by add on the capital that you had before?
Because like already right now, like for example, me, my capital is already done. Like it is bought within like margin calls. Blah, blah.
I get your issue. I think I should address this right now. For people who are having floating coins which are floating, there's nothing you can do about it. For now, just be patient, leave it to buy its margin because that has been doing as is selling them. Okay? Then once it's out, because any coin can be out. We have been all in coins. As I'm telling you, I had that BNX over since September. Okay? But we just have to be patient as we are learning something new. If you can put on maybe some capital, you can be using the new strategy as just testing it, but being cautious. Because once you've done mistake, you're going to go into floating again. As what you've been doing, trying to be greedy and so on. If the strategy works out for you, start reducing some things. You're like, I'm seeing he's selling when he's not buying margin calls. Let me reduce the margin call drop. So we are all having floating coins. I myself, I also have something like for their floating, but I'm okay with it. Right now, they're buying margin calls and we're selling. Just let us be us on that. Trust me, one day that coin is going to come out, and then when it comes out, you can put in this new method. But for already a floating coin. And now let's just leave them. Let them sell the margin calls they had, and then we shall be out of the market soon. But right now, there's nothing we can do about it. That's why we're looking for so many ways how we can minimize us going in the floating. So,
Okay,
sweetheart, that is it.
Thank you.
Another person was trying to ask.
Good morning.
Morning to hi.
I'm okay. I'm on and off, please. Let me ask a small question. Did you record this class?
I don't know. I think it is recorded. I'm seeing a notification here on YouTube. It is recorded. It's there already.
Oh God, thanks God. When you died, they buried me, they leave you alive.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you very much.
Okay. So the other thing I want to address before I can leave the call, I think I've talked about this issue of the margin call drop, but keep it big so that you don't you don't hurry to enter the all capital into the market. The moment you enter a lot of capital into the market, you're creating a bigger floating loss. And if you just enter which is not bad, to enter the money into the market is not bad, but how have you done it? Okay, how have we done it? If you just enter the whole money into the market at once, the market has just dropped by 2%, and for you, you've already entered all your capital. Okay, so if it continues to drop, I don't know how you're going to go about it. So be conscious about that. Don't create a very small margin call drop. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about this side of margin of multiple buying ratio. This side of multiple buying ratio, there's nothing changing here. We have been always telling that formula how we calculate the multiple buying ratio. So literally, if you're using this method, if you placed something on the first buying amount, let's assume you placed there. Let's assume 15 or you're using 5, anything. You're using 5. The other thing is you're not supposed to make a big change. Like for this one, the margin call drop, just leave it. Then for the multiple buying ratio, still you can leave it. Do you know why I'm telling you to leave it? Because it is already calculated. We are having 2 here. What does it mean? Already they are showing that they are doubling the money you're having to the market. You're getting my point. So they'll always get this 2. The other robot is going to get this 2 times the 5 you have on the first buying amount, you're getting 10, meaning it is going to enter 10 into the market. Then the mistake, guys, have been, because I've been getting so many feedbacks in my inbox. I think one of the mistakes or something you've been misunderstanding, people think that this 4, this second multiple buying ratio, this 4, that is going to come and multiply this what? This 10. That we are multiplying 4 by 10 and then we are getting 40. Okay? No, I don't know. What was I supposed to? That people think that, okay, here we divided by 5 times 2. So people think that after getting the answer as 10 here, we are going to get 10 and then multiply it by 4. And then after multiplying it by 4, we are going to get an answer of 40. And then if they are thinking that we are getting 40 here times 8. Okay? 40 times 8, what are you getting? Let me see here. 40 times 8. And then we are getting an answer of 320. So this is what people are thinking. That's why someone is telling that you gave us a strategy for 100, but then just in the third call, you're already having something. So one thing you should know is that this times which is here is not multiplying the current answer you've gotten. It keeps on multiplying the number you have on your first buying amount. Meaning that everything you're having here, you're going to times it by 5. By 5. By 5. By 5. You're getting my point? Meaning that here you're entering 10. Here we are entering what? Here we're entering 40. And then here we are entering 8 times that. We're entering 80. Not that the 320 you thought of not playing, because I think it is just common sense. If I enter the market, even when you don't calculate, if I enter the market with 5, I'm doubling the 5 I have. I'm going to enter with 10. Now I'm having 20. I'm going to enter with 20. Now I'm having 20. The next man I'm entering to be what? It will be 40. It will be what? It will be 40. Then after 40, I'm going to enter what? I'm going to enter 80. Then 80 times 2, I'm entering 120. Because this is a double up method. You're doubling what you're having in the market. So I don't know whether abantu abamu webaliyo here, people we are confusing that thing. You don't multiply the answer you've gotten previously. You're supposed to multiply the number which is here times the number which is here on your first buying amount. That's what you multiply to get the next answer. Then the next answer. Why you getting the point? Even when you don't multiply, it is just common sense. If you entered your 5, it's a sure deal. If you double up this 5, you're getting 10. Then a sure deal. If you double up this 20, this 10, you're getting a 20. If you double up that 20, you're getting a 40. Some things we don't have to think a lot, but just use some little common sense, and then we can get the answers. So I think that is the side of the multiple buying ratio, that you can use what is here, as long as the only emphasis you have to put it on the first buying amount. Because let's assume you placed your first buying amount as what? As 50. After placing it as 50, now you're here 50 times 2, meaning on the first buying amount you're entering 100. You're entering 100. Then here 50 times 4. On the next one you're entering 200. Then you're having 50 times 8. What are you getting there? 50 times 8. 50 times 8, we are going to be getting 500. Okay? Meaning here I'm having already 500 plus 20, that is 600. I'm having 700. And then after 700, even you add on the first buying amount, which is 750, are you having that capped on your account? So the only thing you have to be conscious about, that is the first buying amount. That if you put something, you can be able to double up according to your capital. Are you getting my point? If you put something, suppose you can double up according to your capital. So that is it so far. And then I said that if you're using this and want to be successful with this thing, let's stop being greedy. Either take 1.3, 1.5. If the worst comes to worst, take 2. I myself, I use 1.5, 1.3. That's what I use. So for you to be up to you. Okay? So unless we're having a question, but
Hey, Coach Hellen.
yeah.
If you're done teaching, can I get like 1 minute to say something?
You can say it now, because I think I'm done.
Okay. Yes, good morning, everyone. Coach Hellen, thank you so much for this wonderful class. And Guys, Coach Helen is trying to show us how the robot was set, how the robot is supposed to operate. Okay. She's not trying to manipulate or create things from her bedroom and bring it, from sleeping and bring it in the morning and teaches it to you. If you look at the robot, those are the default setting. Remember, guys, someone came up with this robot. He created this robot and made it available for people to use. So he put a lot of concepts in creating this robot. Okay, but sometimes because of the limited capital, we are trying to maneuver here and there. So we tried to go against him and go against his creation. So it's like we are fighting him. The robot was made and built on strategies, mathematical calculations, and whatever. So Coach Helen is not trying to teach us something she dreamt of. She realized that this is the way forward. Okay, and there is someone who asked that the robot to buy many margin calls, money. It's not about many margin calls. Margin calls are management strategy, like a backup plan. What is the plan B? If at all the coin doesn't go uptrend, how am I going to make sure that I'm safe? Those are the margin calls. But it's not a must that the robot should buy margin calls. And let me give you this example, actually. You're buying your first buying amount, then you go for the first margin call, second margin call, but you're putting in 10, okay, then 10, then 10, then 10. You're using $10 or whatever, $20, and you've been dropping by 0.5 or 1 or something. So you're dropping less and you're investing in money. But here, the robot is trying to save you all that trouble. It waits until a reasonable percentage drop, let's say 3.5. It uses a reasonable amount of money to buy that 3%. Again, we go back to our fundamental purpose of using this robot or trading, spot trading. You buy low and sell high. So if you waited for the robot to drop by 3.5 and you used a reasonable amount to buy that drop, that means you're shopping on a discount. If it goes again and it drops by 5.5 and you use something like $80, so that percentage drop, you're going to use $80, you're buying on a discount. You're going to find out by the end of the trade, you've collected, or the trade is giving you a reasonable amount of money still. So it's not about margin calls. It's about understanding why it's being done, how it's being done, and why it is being done. We crammed or buy as much margin calls as possible, but how are you buying them? Okay, so that is my submission. You will find that. And yeah, the advantage of because we are leveraging our money or our dollar. So DCA, we are like, whenever we do this, so the concept of DCA comes in play. So the current price stays closer to the average price. That means you're jumping out of the market quickly. If it sells so quickly, okay, it's okay. We all want the robot to sell the trade. So you go in for another coin. Coach MRD keeps on dropping a message. And I'm sure, the many signals that were being dropped within these 2 days, all of us were just looking at them like a dog looking at money, because we don't have money to buy it. But Coach will keep dropping and dropping and dropping. So if you say, no, it will sell very fast, yeah, let it sell. A signal will come again, enter, okay? So the thing is, the Chinese, they have a principle that they use that Ugandans, we don't use, okay? Cost, okay? Don't say that because it's bad quality, okay? Because sometimes it is the same quality as in our shops, but they sell at a lesser price, but many customers. You sell at a higher price, but with a few customers. So they will beat you. So sell quickly, or let it take 2 margin calls and it sells, but sell many coins. Still, you will be getting what you want. I'm not a teacher where I've taught wrong. I'm sorry, but
Financial advisor.
that's my submission, because I have an idea about this here actually. Yeah, that wrap. It's the way to go, guys.
Okay, Mr. Fahad, thank you for your submission. It has really been great. So, guys, let's look towards perceiving this in a positive way, so that at least we can improve something into our business. I know right now it has been just put onto the platform. So many people still having questions. So many people still figuring out how things can be worked out. It's okay. Take your time. Understand the procedure. Where you have not understood, please always make use of those groups. Drop your questions. We shall always discuss. We shall always answer you. And then till when we are all profitable from this business, because trust me, this business came to stay, and it is having money in it. But unless you've known how to use it in its right way. So, guys, that is it, what I had for you today. I think I'm going to call it a day. Coach Hellen, as usual, have a nice time.